we are continuing the UFC 313 fight card, this being the co-main event. Let's get right into it, but remember, this Saturday is the live watch party for this fight card, so hopefully I'll catch some of you there. But let's get right into today's video. Today we have a very exciting one because it's a rematch between Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje. Fiziev is 12-3. He's from Kyrgyzstan. He stands at 5'8" tall. He weighed at 155 pounds in his last win, a reach of 71.5 inches and a leg reach of 40 inches. While Justin Gaethje, on the other hand, is 26-5. His country's United States. Stands at 5'11" tall, weighed in also at 155 pounds in his last win, has a reach of 70 inches and a leg reach of 40 inches. Basing us off of these stats, Rafael Fiziev has a 1.5 inch reach advantage, which is fairly close, so it's not a massive distance, so it's, I just said it, fairly close, it doesn't really matter. The height though is going into Gaethje's favour, being 3 inches taller, and also leg reach exactly the same. And then we look at the record, where it is a one-sided draw, where Justin Gaethje has 26 wins and 5 losses, and Rafael Fiziev has 12 wins and 3 losses. Gaethje has experience. Gaethje has a lot of experience. Future Hall of Famer, I believe, Justin Gaethje has a lot of experience. He has the wins, he has the reach, he doesn't have the reach, he has the height. So a few things going in Gaethje's favour, but not enough to really dictate this fight. Let's move on to win buys to see how they've got it done in their previous fights. With Justin Gaethje having a 77% KO, 4% submission, 19% decision, with an average fight time sitting at 11 minutes and a knockdown average of 1. While Rafael Fiziev, on the other hand, has a 67% KO, 8% submission, 25% decision with an average fight time sitting at 12 minutes and a knockdown average of 0. Based off of these win by stats, we have Rafael Fiziev and Justin Gaethje, most of their wins are coming by knockout, although they both have submissions. 77% knockouts for Justin Gaethje, having 26 fights, is a hell of a lot of knockout wins. He does have a few decisions, and then he has very, very minimal, very small amount of submissions. It's the same with Rafael Fiziev, except Fiziev doesn't have as many wins nor fights on his record. So it's pretty good that he has 67%, but Justin Gaethje having a 77%, which is more than Fiziev, with a higher record as well, is pretty intense. They both have a roughly similar fight time. Fiziev has 1 minute extra, while Gaethje knockdown average, again, over their last fight, I do believe, so it's pretty okay. They both got some form of knockdown. That's okay. Let's move on to one last bit of win by stats before we continue. We're going to start with Gaethje again, right here. He has 19 wins coming by knockout, 2 wins coming by submission, and 4 wins by decision. He has 2 losses by submission, 3 losses by knockout, and 0 losses by decision. Gaethje has 8 wins in UFC and 5 losses in UFC. While in the World Series fighting, or fighting World Series, I don't know how you do it, or do you go World Series fighting? He has 10 wins and no losses. His last fight was against Max Holloway, where he obviously lost in the very, very last second of the fight, got knocked out cold by Holloway. Then he knocked out Dustin Poirier with a head kick. Then he beat Rafael Fiziev by a majority decision, and then Charles Oliveira choked him out. He's had 2 fight of the nights and 1 performance of the night, being Dustin Poirier's. Another key thing that I want to look at here as well, look at this KO TKOs. He has a 75% KO TKO in the UFC, 25% of decisions, 60% KO TKOs of him being knocked out, and 4% of him being submitted. One by Khabib and the other by Charles Oliveira. So he's only been submitted by high-level grapplers. He's been knocked out by high-level strikers. How does Fiziev compare to that? Well, it seems as their fight went to a decision. Their first fight went to a decision. They both are not super high level. They're fairly high level for what they do, but they are not at the highest of levels. Look at Gaethje's stats here. He does get the knockouts over fighters, so he can still get it done. He most commonly wins in the UFC via knockout, so I do believe that this fight will either go to a decision or a knockout if it's to be Gaethje's win. I don't think either guy gets a submission in this fight. Moving us over to Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev has 8 wins coming by knockout, 1 win by submission, and 3 wins by decision. He has 1 loss by decision, never been submitted, and 2 losses by KO and TKO. He's been knocked out in the UFC twice, and he's had 3 knockouts in the UFC. He also has 3 losses. He has 3 wins by decision, so again, it's the same thing here. Decision or a KO TKO for Fiziev, and he has lost once by a decision. He lost against Mateusz Gamrot due to a leg injury in round 2 back in 2023, which was his last fight. He then lost to a decision by Justin Gaethje. Rafael dos Anjos, he beat him. Knockout, wheel kick against Brad Riddell. King Green via a unanimous decision, and so on. So looking at these two, they both get knockouts or decisions in the UFC at least. So how do I think this fight really plays out? Well, we'll get to that in the end of the video, but it shows that most commonly though, Fiziev loses by knockout. He most commonly gets knocked out, and Justin also most commonly gets knocked out. Justin hasn't lost to a decision, while Fiziev has. So looking at the stats there, it makes it a lot closer again because they both have a decision win, and now you can probably look at their previous fight and base it off of that. Fiziev hasn't fought in 2 years. He did suffer a leg injury, which is probably why he was out for so long. So can he compete here? Can he be on the same level as Gaethje? Gaethje has just been knocked out. Fiziev lost to a leg injury, then also lost to a decision to Gaethje. So they're both coming off of losses, but one of them is coming off a deadlier loss than the other. Well, an injury is quite bad, but one of them did get knocked out. So it's going to be a very interesting fight with these two, but let's move on to significant strikes to see how they performed on the feet in their previous fights. With Fiziev having an average of 5 punches landed per minute, a 51% significant strikes percentage, an average of 5 punches absorbed per minute with a defense of 49%. While Justin Gaethje, on the other hand, had an average of 7 punches landed per minute, 59% significant strikes, an average of 7 punches absorbed per minute with a defense of 52%. A lot of the stats here are going into Gaethje's favour. He has the high output, he had the high volume. He had a very high significant strikes percentage. He absorbed a lot more, which isn't good, and that shouldn't be going in your favour. You don't want that going in your favour. You want it to go in the other person's favour. Well, it's not going in your favour then. But his defense was pretty good. While Fiziev, on the other hand, had a little bit of a worse significant strike percentage, had a worse landed per minute, absorbed less, which is good, and had a little bit of a worse defense. Now, Gaethje and Holloway were swinging. They were fighting, they were putting it all out there, and that is the type of fight we love to see. And I don't expect to get this type of fight again. I don't expect Fiziev to perform the way Holloway did, but if Gaethje wants to win, I feel like that's a great way to go. Learn from your mistakes. Yes, a lot of people will go, oh, if Gaethje didn't get his nose broken, then he would have won that fight. While I do agree that if his nose wasn't broken, the fight could have gone differently, I don't know if he would have won that fight anyways. But it was a sick fight, and I think if Gaethje comes out like that in this fight, or even in a similar way that he fought in the previous fight, I think it's going to be very good for him, and I think he's going to benefit a lot better. But looking at these stats, it goes in Gaethje's favour. Let's move on to the grappling to see how they performed in the grappling in their previous fight. With both of them having a 0 takedown average, a 25% takedown accuracy for Gaethje, and a 75% takedown defense, with both of them having a submission average of 0, while Rafael Fiziev has a 40% takedown accuracy and an 89% takedown defense. So they both have very high takedown defense. I expect them to use this. I don't expect either guy to try. I do see takedowns coming, but I don't expect to see these two even attempt, not attempt, but I don't see these guys getting a submission. So I see the grappling as just a way of taking a break to breathe and to take a little bit of control for the fight. While I think the one who is most commonly to get a takedown, I think Fiziev will be the one who probably gets the takedown, while I think Gaethje will try and strike a lot. I think the takedown defense from both guys is great, and that's what they're going to need for this fight. But I think Fiziev's going to go for a takedown. He's going to get hurt, and he's going to get a takedown or attempt them, and we will see what happens there. So how do I think this fight plays out? I think it's going to be a heavy striking match between these two. I think Fiziev's going to get hurt quite early, and I think he's going to try and get a takedown, and I think Gaethje will get a stoppage in the last round. But that's just my thoughts and my opinions. What do you guys think? Who do you think wins, and how do you think to win? Apart from that, I'll catch you in a bit. Take care, and peace.